Hello, Discover here to explain our cash back match. Here's how it works. We give you cash back for using your Discover card on the things you were going to buy anyway. Then we match that cash back in your first year. And that's why we call it Cashback Match. Now to recap and say cashback one more time. We match all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year automatically. Discover. Exceptionally common sense. Learn more at discover.com/match. Limitations apply.
At Kroger, we know the holiday season is going to be special for everyone. So use the Kroger app to get personalized coupons, weekly deals, and rewards like fuel points. That way you'll get all the fresh holiday specialties you love at prices that are lower than low. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
And now you'll find more ways to save on your favorites. When you download digital coupons, you can use up to 5 times in one transaction. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
This is half-black Neil, son of Boring Dean. When I'm not being put to sleep by my dad talking to me, I listen to the Eric Zane Show Podcast. Now here he is, the man I wish was my daddy, the super talented Eric Zane.
That gets me every time, man. That's funny. Half-black Neil. All right, enough of that shit. Welcome into the Eric Zane Show Podcast. This is a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures each and every day of the work week. Just so you know, today at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we will start another edition of the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. I woke up this morning, got yourself a gun. And I was like, oh my God, I have not even reached out to Ben about the latest edition of the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. So I go, hey, Queef, what do you say about, short notice like that? You know, we're adults. You can't drop short notice on somebody who's an adult. Ben, we're both kind of not really adults. So he's like, yeah, man, it sounds good. So Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. Now, if you don't already know, Ben and I did radio for quite some time. And then it ended up in a big ball of flames and just horrible. Actually, when the show was fired, it was a disaster. And then shortly after that, Ben published some fucking manifesto. I had no idea that this was even like that big of a deal. Because when we left, like months before we got fired, we had this big blow up on the air. And so it was ugly and everybody was pissed off and it was just stupid. And then so we got suspended. And this is how the radio station handled it. They suspended us both for a week and put on a replacement show, like some satellite show that talked like wrestling or some shit. And we're like, well, that's stupid. Why don't you just put a best of show on or something like that? And they're like, no, this is the way we want to do it. And I'm like, well, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. So they did that. Some of you might even remember the Moose and Taz show. Taz and the Moose. So Ben and I are there twisting in the wind, all pissed off, and then we fix it. And then we have 3 solid months of doing the show together where we're on the same page. And that was it. And then they, Ben and I, we had kissed and made up. And then they fire us. And then, I don't know. That was January of whatever year that was. 19. And then like 3 months later, Ben publishes some fucking Unabomber manifesto. And it like everybody who was like, I don't know about Eric Zane. They're like, oh, that's right. I knew it. He was a fucking thug. He's a bully. Let's fuck him up. And oh my God. Holy shit. John, I'll get to that in a second. John Domingo, I'm going to talk about that in a bit too. So anyway, then, so we were all pissed off. I even sent Ben a cease and desist. Like, a motherfucker, knock it off. And then, that when the dust ended up settling on that, I thought it was done. And then out of the blue, he reaches out to me and goes, hey, man, we should probably, be buddies. And I go, yeah, I think so. C-Bear495 asks, was that firing because they were changing formats of the station? That's what they told me. I would guess, though, that if Ben and I hadn't had that destructive moment months before, and had I not, been Eric Zane, that they would have kept me on. But we all know. I mean, come on now. I am notorious for wearing out my welcome. I am aware. Okay, that's why I'm here right now. I understand completely that a normal working environment is not good for anyone who works with your old pal Eric Zane. Just not good. That I kind of like today. There's a lot of interweaving stories about this. Sometimes I don't know my effect on people. C. Barrett says, I love how they have to do all the, quote, business talk when firing someone, LOL. Can't just come right out and tell you the truth, LOL. Yeah, it would be an easier world if they just said, hey, we're firing you. Yo, oh my God, what happened? Well, you're really a cock. Okay? But these are gigantic companies that are just drowning in debt. So they have to be very careful, I guess. But anyway, I digress, because it's all good now because Ben and I are on the same page, and we have this podcast we do every week on Patreon. That's part of what you get when you sign up for Patreon. So we do that today. Now, the beauty of this is it also includes like a Zoom where we're all you're all there. It's like a live audience. So if you're not yet included in that, please let me know, and I'll help you out. I'll point you in the right direction. John Domingo, a legendary podcaster in his own right, a longtime Philly fan, also known as Philly Fanatic, writes, podcasting better, greater than radio. Podcasting, you are your own boss. No loser suits to hold you back. However, John, look, not every podcaster is the same. Some start from the ground up, and they didn't, make any money in radio. So, to assume that they can make a living in podcasting is tough sledding. I'm fortunate. I'm lucky because I had a built-in audience. So, yeah, podcasting is better than radio, because in terms of the creative aspect of it, you can pretty much say whatever you want. So I agree with you there. This is a lot more work, though. I'll tell you this. I love every second of it. I love the fact that I can podcast and call my own shots and all that shit. It's a lot more work. Back in the day, I would do 4 in the door. I'd show up 10 minutes before the radio show would start, sit there, go over a list from BuzzFeed and scream at Hot Wings for being shitty, and then walk out the door, and then that's it. I'm home by, 11 a.m. every day. Here, it's like 7 a.m. I sit down here, and then, 5 p.m., 5:30, 6 p.m., that's the end of the day. I love it. It's a lot of work, but whatever, we'll take what we can get. C-Bear495 says, I do appreciate the interview you gave on Wood TV8 about your firing. Good on you. That was a long time ago. Do you work there, or did you just see it? C-Bear495, I think, listens to both shows. He's new in this group and has been contributing mightily. I appreciate that. C-Bear says, no, I was a viewer. I don't work there. And then he says, since you mentioned it, Zane, do you still talk to anyone from Free Beer and Hot Wings? No. My opinion on them is fuck them. You might not know, I've shared it with this audience quite a bit, But we were we were improving the relationship up till the last January, like 11 months ago. I mean, it was half a year of small little conversations and greetings and pleasantries. By no means were we friends, but we were friendly. Okay? Kenny, shut up. Kenny, shut the fuck up. Just shut up, Kenny. He can't go more than a few days without getting it again. Shut up, Kenny. We hadn't gone. We were, I reached out. I gave them a bunch of their property back, the guitar, a bunch of old material that I had in my possession. I gave them their property back. I said, hey, I won't play your material anymore on my show, which I've kind of said fuck it because I play Hot Wings Laugh Talk all the time on this show. But it was all good. It was going well. I was happy with that. And when my mom died, they reached out nicely and said, we're so sorry about the passing of your mother. And then when Greg's wife left him, I said, hey, I'm sorry that happened to you. Oh, my God. And then when Connie from their sister station, a longtime friend, passed, I was like, oh, my God, I'm so sorry that happened to you. The usual shit. We always like, oh, this is good. And then fucking Greg knifed the shit out of me on the air again. Shame on me. Shame on fucking me. So I remember I was sitting there in the shower and I see what the boys are doing. See what's going on the big show. And it was another stupid fucking segment about, I don't know, somehow because I'm renting space in fuckface Greg's head, he weaved me into the content some way. And I was like, well, why? I thought we were, we were. So that was it. I was like, you know what? That is the fucking last straw. Fuck you. Oh my God. Enough. So, no. That's why, without getting any more into it, I'm still fucking furious about it. So, there you go. But how did I get onto this topic? Jesus. By the way, today is a absolutely spectacular day. There is something really, really amazing about today. And I have a surprise for you a little bit later on. I have an absolute surprise for you. If you know what it is, again, don't be Kenny. Shut up and don't tip anybody off. This show happens every day live on Twitch. Okay. Oh, I know how I got to that. I was talking about Ben. So that's done. Every day on Twitch. Here we are at 8 a.m. Eastern time. Okay. And I want you to follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live or twitch.com/Eric Zane Live. I think we are up to like 263 or 264. All right. Hang on a second. Let me write this back. Absolutely. Period. I will do that. Period. So if you could go to twitch.com/Eric Zane Live and follow. It's all I want you to do. I'm trying to average 75 viewers a show for a month. That's a big deal for your old pal Eric Zane. So please follow along. Okay. Thank you so much as this show happens each and every weekday from the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio. Baldwin Ace Hardware, a bastion of DIY awesomeness in the Northland. You can email me anytime. If you really want to get right to me on correspondence, you really want to send me some hate mail, send it on email, okay? If it's direct message, if it's something on Messenger, it just falls through the... You're even better off sending me an email than you would be texting me, frankly. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. The Shoreliners striping inbox is what that is known as. Real quick, I have an update on my brother-in-law, known as the NFK, which stands for No Filter Kevin. Lives with us. He has been for, it'll be, it's about a year and a half now. He's lived here. Direct communication. Small talk is no problem. How are you? How'd you sleep? How's the food? The new microwave working okay? These are all good things. We can handle those. I cringe when I have to actually tell him something important. He's scheduled for a January 14th neck surgery to correct a problem in his cervical spine called a laminectomy. He had a pre-surgery physical. They do that, make sure you're good enough for surgery, healthy enough. 60 years old. So that was the other day. I talked about that. And I get a phone call yesterday. Yes, is this James? That's his real first name. No, this is Eric. And she goes, oh, can I speak to James? I go, well, I usually handle these calls for him. He's not with me right now. She goes, what is your name? And I tell her the name, and it shows up like on there that I'm okay to talk to, you know? And they go, oh, okay, great. Yeah, well, here's what's up. The results of the physical. His blood work came back, and his sodium is low. Now, right away, I'm like, what? I'm not lying. When he gets the Devour frozen beef stroganoff out of the freezer and heats it up in the microwave and then seasons it, now, those things are already out of the box, loaded with sodium. He takes the salt and just, he puts so much salt on it. And oh my God, I don't know. It's like, I'm sure it tastes like the bottom of the ocean, for God's sake. But that's him, you know, he seasons the hell out of it. And so I've never said you should cut back on your salt. You're going to raise your sodium level. You're going to have a fucking high blood pressure and have a heart attack. Oh my God. They go, yeah, sodium's low. And I'm like, how? So, and this is the same guy who, you know, he eats Hot Pockets 3 times a day and shit, like all this frozen food. He doesn't eat a vegetable. Okay, he does not. If it's a vegetable, it's in the frozen fucking pot pie or something. I mean, this is not a balanced diet at all. The main constituents are Devour frozen beef stroganoff, chewing tobacco, and beer, and water. That's it. That is it. Every day. Okay. Just like you feed your dog the same thing every day. This is the same thing every day. And then he fires off the Hams beer shit cannon 2 or 3 times a day in my toilet. We have trained him to clean the toilet. When he had his first physical, everything comes back perfect, which sickened me because my cholesterol level is much higher than his. Like the LDL, which is the bad cholesterol, mine was 146. So much so that Byers says to me, yeah, if in a year you're still trending up, I'm going to medicate you. I'm like, fuck, man, are you serious? Yeah, Eric, you gotta get this. This is a ticking time bomb. Get this in check. Fucking Kevin is at 101. And the doc, he calls me up and goes, hey, guess what? I go, what? It's bad, isn't it? He goes, no, man. Well, he's got to watch. He was snarky. He goes, well, he knew because I've got a 146. He goes, well, he's really going to have to be careful. I'm a little concerned about this. What is it? Well, that bad cholesterol number, that, you know, yours is 146. I'm expecting him to say, oh, his is 246. He goes, his is, it's supposed to be at 100. He's at 101. And I'm like, you dick, fuck you. Hang up. How? This guy, I swear to God, is a mystery to me. The doc says, okay, this is yesterday. His sodium is low. Well, that's okay. This is shocking. You got the wrong guy. They go, no, we don't. We want him to stop drinking beer. No more alcohol between now and the surgery. Okay, now here's where it gets weird. Prior to getting the blood drawn, the physician's assistant says to him, I want you to cut down on your beer. 2.5 weeks before the surgery, cut down on your beer, cut down on the chewing tobacco. And he's like, wow, yeah, shit, fuck. All right, I can do that. So he doesn't have to worry about it till the surgery isn't until January 14th. So he comes out of the blood draw and he tells me that. I go, okay, all right. Update to the story. They see something that requires a little bit more of an active participation on his part. That is the low sodium level. They said in preparation for the surgery, what we told you before is different. Now we want you to cut it out. Cut out the alcohol. So I was actually driving yesterday when I got this phone call, and I'm like, right away, I'm like, how the hell am I going to tell him this? Because, it's when he's told one thing and then he doesn't comprehend. Again, he's had a lobotomy. Me trying to say to him the simple concept of, upon looking at your actual numbers, now they've updated their edict. You cannot explain this to him, okay? All he's going to go with is, well, they fucking already told me I got to cut down 2.5 weeks before shit, fuck. And I go, well, I still must tell him. I must tell him. So that moment just happened before this show. I wander in there today. Hey, so I got a call from the doc, and I explained to him what I just explained to you. And then I dropped, and I knew this was, he was taking it seriously because he hit mute on the TV. He's like, click. And I'm like, oh no, here we go. So he's paying attention. I explained to him what's up. And then he wrinkles up his face when I get to the point. I say, yeah, dude, they want you to stop drinking. And right away, the hand gestures. Remember, I told you that he's like a fucking out of control Chuck E. Cheese animatronic when he gets agitated. And the histrionics and the movements do not align with the discussion. Okay? And so that's what brought into mind when he'll like flap the arms and he'll do these weird ass fucking dance moves from the 1950s. Like and he actually did it again. He's, well, shit, fuck. I mean, she fucking told me that. I mean, 2.5 weeks beforehand, and I got it in the back of my head. He actually starts hitting the back of his head when he's describing it to me. I'm not making up. I got it here in the back of my head. 2.5 weeks. I got to cut down, and I'll cut down. And I'm like, dude, stop. And I go, and first when I described to him that he has low sodium, he's like, well, shit, fuck, that's impossible, man. I sit here, I put salt all on my food to placate it. I eat these chips all fucking day. And I go, yeah, she explained that to me. And he goes, he kind of looks at me, I go, they said it has nothing to do with digestive sodium intake, salt intake. They said what it has to do with on a different system in your body, it has to do with the amount of alcohol. And so trying to impress upon him that the order is now updated and he's not buying it. He's looking at me like, well, she told me, and that's what I'm going to do. And I'm like, well, yeah, I know, motherfucker, but this is an update. Hey, Rich. Ladies and gentlemen, Enriched Art is here. That would be Richard Francisco, who I spent time with yesterday at his house, and his dogs Charlie, Zeus, and Cookie. Charlie, the world's tallest German Shepherd. Shot a video yesterday, which I'll be sharing with you shortly, about his latest art effort. Oh my God, it's incredible. Hey, I got your message too, by the way. I don't know if you saw it. He wants me to take one part of it when it got a little off the rails. We started to get really graphic and dirty. Hey, Eric, cut that part out. I don't think my wife will appreciate that. Don't worry, man. I got you. So that's what's going on in this house. And they did say that none of their concern is enough to make them want to call off the surgery. But, I mean, he doesn't understand. It's like, dude, they're doing this to keep you safe. The point of all of this is to ensure you have a good experience as best as you can when they, slice your neck open like the belly of a fish and splay you out and manipulate your vertebrae. I mean, there's a lot at work there. You wanna give these people, the absolute best opportunity to have a successful event. This is surgery, for God's sakes. Holy cow. So, that just unfolded. By the way, I have a new smell I hate. This is also NFK related. What he does is, so at some point today, he'll start the day's consumption of chewing tobacco. And it's not, he doesn't really chew it. It's that grizzly, long cut wintergreen. And you put it in your cheek and gum, and then the nicotine enters your bloodstream through your gums, and then cancer sprouts, and then they cut off your face, and you look like that guy who used to review movies. What the hell was his name? Siskel or Ebert, one of those two guys. And so that's what he does all day. But I'm telling you, the NFK is an alien. It does no harm to him. So then when it's like past its prime in his mouth, he's got to get rid of it. He takes it out, and he has an empty container, and he puts the spit-infused one into that and closes it. And then so to the left is the dead wad. To the right is the fresh stuff. So all day long, it's like fresh lip out into the bad one. Well, once the tin gets full of used tobacco spit clippings, he wanders over to the garbage, takes the lid off, and dumps it in the trash. So then, and I don't know about you, but that smell, I mean, when you take a person's spit and tobacco and it's in the wintergreen, it's just it's you never forget it. You never get it out of your nose. And I'll walk up to the garbage can and I have to empty the coffee grinds in it from these little single serving Keurig things. So I have to like tap it to get my coffee grounds out. And so I'm above the can for like 15 seconds, and then it wafts up. And I'm like, oh shit, he did it again. I got to, even if there's no garbage in the fucking thing, I gotta get it out of there. I can't stand that fucking smell. I have to get it out of the house. And so today, there was a wad of it in there from last night. So first thing in the morning, I'm like, oh God, fuck. So I take it, I throw it out, and then I put a fresh bag in it. I let the dog out. And while I'm letting the dog out, sure as shit, he wanders over there and dumps another one in there. I'm like, oh, fuck me. So there it is again. I have to get a fresh bag. I have to throw it out. Oh, my God. Oh. Let me update you on this. So here we are now. Another day completed in our journey towards my daughter getting married. And I promised you I would highlight all of the good and amazing moments from this and moments that make you go, oh my God. And this is one of those. So remember I talked to you, I talked with you about yesterday was gown shopping. And I get a phone call from Diana. Do you want to see Jackie in her gown? We've picked it out. And I go, yes. No, I don't. I would, here's the thing. This is what I'm thinking. November 19th, 2022. If I have not seen her in the gown, Excuse me. And then during the wedding ceremony, when she everybody stands up, and then out she. I've never seen her before, and then I see my beautiful daughter. I'm gonna turn into a puddle of tears and snot. I mean, it's gonna be incredible, and I'm gonna melt. So my thought was I should probably take the edge off that and see what she looks like. So those are my options. What would you do? I opted to not see her. I'm just going to have to. That is going to be a very exhausting day. Really, that is going to be exhausting. I know it'll be great, but it's tough on a dad when your daughter gets married. I don't know why that is, but at least for me, it might be that whole daddy's little girl thing. You know, those are my daughters. It's different. Having a son, of course, you know, and then daughters. I don't know how to put a finer point onto it. It's just a thing you have to, you know, if she's however many years old, what is she? How old is she? She's born in 97. So somebody do the math for me. However old she is, 24, 25, all of those years. And in your mind, she's constantly, you know, you're seeing different flashes of her as a little girl, as a child, as she, different stages of her youth. And now here she is. Oh, my God. She is, oh, God. So this all happens. And I go, and then my mind is shifted off of that and to a different realm because Diana says, I need $1,000 right now. Oh, shit. I go, wait, what? You can't drop, do you want to see your daughter and then back it up with, give me $1,000? I go, all right, put it on this card. Put it on, have this creditor pay for it. So I go, well, we'll deal with it later. So later on in the day, I got a message from Kent, drop the E out of U. Hey, man, Facebook must have known you were talking about this. And he sends me or whatever, he was just being funny, a Facebook marketplace listing. Budget wedding gowns, $150. You know what is a bad thing to do? Suggest that to anyone in the fold of this whole dynamic. In this case, the queen of the forest, Momzilla and Bridezilla. Now, I didn't even say, hey, we should consider this. I just said, hey, look what Kent sent. And she goes, well, that's fucking stupid. I mean, who the fuck's going to buy a used wedding gown for $150? Bullshit. Yeah, someone else wore it. Yeah, whatever. Hey, look, I know. And then my job at this point is to agree with everything she's saying. That's my task. This is how you handle these untamed beasts. You have to go, yeah, I know. What kind of pig would do that? You gotta spend all the money on it, even if you can find cheaper elsewhere. Only an asshole would get a bargain on a wedding dress. I mean, what kind of piece of shit scumbag would do that? Huh? Yeah, I'm with you, man. Really not. Oh, my God. That sounds like a good idea to me, frankly. Why don't we just run out that ground ball? I'm telling you, that whole wedding industry, it is the elaborate pricing is just based on emotion. It is just tapping in all of these merchants and retailers. They know that there's a dynamic in a lot of cases between the bride and the dad. So they know that the dad is like, I'm going to do whatever. And the reason why the dad is doing it, in addition to the other things I've talked to you about today, is, the wife. If I don't want to piss these people off. This is what you wait. This is what you prepare for this moment. This is the one time as a father you go, credit score be damned. Do as you will. I will take care of this. You just let them have a good time. This is, you kick the can down the road. This is wise. I'm telling you. Because if you're the guy who says, no, wait a minute here. Me as the dad, I want to sink my claws into this and make you explore some budgetary options. You're going to get murdered. Don't do it. Just accept the fact that your asshole is going to be the size of a Folgers can when this is all said and done. And you better smile while you're getting raped. So I was, somebody jammed the tip into my butthole yesterday. So Dinah says, I need to put $1,000 down on this dress. I go, down? Is it 1,001? Is the dress $1,001? The gown. She goes, no, it's 2,000. So I go, oh, yeah, it's cool. I didn't say a word. I didn't say anything. I just go, oh, okay. Well, it's that's acting. You just go, yeah, oh, of course. Yes. Okay. This might even be less than what I've voiced on the show of what I thought it was going to cost. But that's not bad from what I'm understanding for a new gown. I understand that is actually quite reasonable. Again, this is a monopoly land of money. But for the next year, it's a topsy-turvy type of existence. That's that. I refuse to be the guy that sits there and makes them, no, do it this way. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to put anybody through that. I see the usual suspects are trying to make this difficult on me. Nick says his lips are saying yes. His brain is doing backflips. Don't know what you're talking about, Nick. Don't know what you're talking about, Nick. Let's see. Sarah says, I bet it's gorgeous. Thank you, Sarah. I'm sure it is. And then Chris writes the asshole comment of $2,000 for a one-time use dress. Yeah, that's the dickhead way of looking at it, okay? What is the Sea Bear 495? What is the return policy on that sort of thing? I think it's 0. Kyle says, weren't you bragging about making $450,000 a year during yesterday's show? That was not bragging. That was disclosure, okay? That was disclosure. It was not a brag. And don't forget, I gave away a lot of that money, so shut up. You're only paying roughly $250 an hour of time that she's actually going to wear it. Oh, thanks, Kent. Thanks. I can't wait till your little one gets married. And I don't even know if you have a daughter. I think you do. And then you're the one, you're the dad. This is what you're going to do. If you don't follow my plan on this, Kent, okay, you're going to earn hate points. You don't want to earn hate points. Kent has four boys. Oh, okay. There you go. Wait until you get the alteration bill, says Kate. Oh, great. Sarah says, I want to see it. The dress. Okay, I don't know what the hell's going on here. I don't have daughters, Chris says. You could do like Paris Hilton and have 6 dresses over 3 days of a wedding party. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. What type of religion will be practiced in the ceremony? None. You need to know that all those years of taking Jacqueline to mass has paid off 0. There is no religious affiliation whatsoever in the ceremony. My comment to that is none. I wasn't asked my opinion. So, I got it down, man. I don't speak unless spoken to. Indoor or outdoor, it's an indoor wedding. Hang on a second. Kyle, who's no doubt been touched by a priest, writes, sounds like a good wedding, nothing in the church. What the fuck is that? All right. So that is the latest. That is the latest. Yesterday, I appeared on another podcast. Someone Needs to Say It is the name of the show, starring Soft Weekly. I met Soft through the Carl from Who Are These Podcasts coaching tree. And he wanted to do kind of like a meeting of the minds of podcasters that are part of this little clique of ours. In fact, Soft was the one who turned me on to the first audio of Donut, 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 Fat, Fat, Fat. John Jamingo, Philly Fanatic, from however long ago when we did all of that nonsense. John actually was in the chat of this. So here's the thing. Soft never has done this for a living or anything like that. He's a dude and is, kind of like a lot of podcasters, just kind of finding his way into it. So he gathers up me, Brandon from the Drew and Mike Show, Carl, Dave, the dude from Australia. I don't know anything about that guy. He was involved in the donut, 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 fat, fat, fat incident. And who else was there? Also in there, Brandon from the Drew and Mike Show, Mark from the Drew and Mike Show was in the background, and he is featured prominently in the story. First of all, it starts like this. I couldn't believe it, and I'll share the link with this as soon as he publishes the audio podcast. Dave, the dude from Australia, he starts, and I guess he's having some marital issues, and he's always super serious. Okay? Very thoughtful. He's the type of guy that I would describe as doesn't really say shit until he's got something to say. So he opens the show with, "Why are you guys married?" And I don't know if he's kidding or trolling or what, but I realized, and then he explains, I'm separated from my wife. And I'm like, what the fuck? I thought this was supposed to be a fun show to some degree. I thought we were supposed to have there was going to be some air of silliness to this. And I'm like, well, dude, what the fuck is going on? So I actually gave him a thoughtful answer, and Carl gave him we did the best we could with this pile of shit that was just handed to us. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Come on. So, all right, we were off and running. We, did our thing for a little bit, kind of just shot the shit. And poor Soft, he's kind of getting his head still screwed on straight about presentation and keeping the content moving, if you will. This is the equivalent of like, well, it is what it is. I mean, for years, I've been doing this for 30 years, talking to a microphone. Soft's been doing it for however long he's been podcasting. So it is what we expected it to be, and it was fine. I enjoyed the camaraderie and the discussion. And then we got into this. I told a story about when I was on Brandon's show, which he was not a part of at the time, on the Riff. And I've talked to you about this before. The time in 1998, I was on the Riff. Mark, the guy I mentioned earlier, is hearing what I'm saying. He was there, a very young intern at the time. He's like 22 years old. At the time, I was 28. And it didn't go well when I was there. And to this day, I still don't even know why it even happened, why I was brought in there. But the bigwigs decided they did, that I should do that or have me in. And it it turned out to be a great opportunity because, frankly, it led to really great things. One thing led to another years later, but at the time it was very difficult. And, you know, being young, full of piss and vinegar, massive ego, and I'm not the easiest person in the world to get along with. That was even more so then. And I was also blind and not really and overconfident in my abilities. So you take that recipe and the fact that Rob, who was also a producer on the Drew and Mike show, he felt that we don't even need this fucking guy who you're hiring in from out of town to fill in for Drew, who's out for back surgery. Why are we even bringing him in? And he was right. He was right to think that. But at the time, I was like, no way, man, I'm the man. And I wasn't. And it sucked and it crashed and burned. And at the time, I was all, I'm so mad. I'm a madman. And, whatever. The rest is history. Here we are 23 years later. I've shared bits and pieces of chats with Mark, but never a discussion. Mark was kind of like a accessory to all of this. But there's no hard feelings on any of this. None. That's all ancient history. And I've shared a lot of exchanges with Drew via email, and he wasn't even involved in this in the first place. He was, but he took time off. That's why I was there in the first place. It was a medical issue. So while we're doing this podcast with Soft, I tell the story about how, I don't even know how we stumbled into it, how I filled in there. And then Howard Stern, because we were talking about Howard. Howard had just signed on in Detroit at about the same time. So this is horrible because the main guy on that show leaves. I fill in. Howard signs on, and he wants to win Detroit. He never did. But in his attempt to, he's saying on the Howard Stern show, yeah, Detroit, I'm going to kick ass in Detroit. Drew and Mike just left. Now it's Who and Mike with some loser idiot. They're talking about me. And I actually heard this on the radio. I was driving down Southfield in Detroit listening to K-Rock, and I hear that. Howard Stern's insulting me through the fucking radio. Imagine that. I'm like, oh, no. And I was a bundle of nerves because I knew I sucked shit deep down. So I was like, oh, no. I'm driving him all of a sudden. It was the end of my career. Everybody hates me. I'm a fucking idiot. Whatever. But again, Mark is hearing me talk to Brandon tell that story. And Mark jumps in and goes, hey, man, can I ask you some questions about all that? I go, well, yeah. He says, were we mean to you? And I go, well, I mean, at the time I thought so, but looking back on it, I think you were right. So we have this super, super great, honest conversation about all of that. I know that this is great. And, he's in his early 40s. I'm old. Everything's different. And then he says something that has stuck with me since then. He goes, you're different now. You're more confident. And then Carl goes, yeah, that means you're an asshole. That means you're an asshole. And I'm like, fuck you, Carl. Carl's just flying the wall, taking pot shots at me. You know what that fucker said? Before I get to the rest of this story. Soft brings up that occasionally I'll drive limo. Soft says, yeah, that's that's good for the pocketbook, but you've gotten a lot of great stories. I go, yeah, it's contributed content on this show for sure. And the car goes, yeah, I collect pop bottles on the weekend so I can tell stories too. I'm like, fuck you, you asshole. Mark says, well, you're more confident now. You're different. I go, well, years of doing this, who knows? I have no idea, I guess. And he goes, but something that is still the same about you. And this has stuck with me since he said it. He goes, you're still very angry. And at the time I went, yeah, that's true. And I didn't make it awkward or anything, but looking back on it now, I'm like, well, how the fuck do you know? I mean, I'm not offended, but what do you know about me? Because if you're paying attention to what I do on this show and telling me I'm angry, look, I can count one, well, maybe two hands, well, maybe 2.5 hands, the times on this show that I've actually really been angry. And they're usually because of Amanda and Kenny. I can't, I don't know where he would get that from, because you've never, other than those moments when I'm screaming at you for stealing my story or something like that, I would say that I've never really gotten angry about things that I'm discussing, Maybe something, some of the subject matter, if it gets real, I might get annoyed with something, but I'm curious. He's probably right, I guess, but I mean, I don't know how he would know that. I mean, I've always been an angry individual, but I guess my question is, how the fuck do you know? I don't take offense to it if you are by the outside chance that you might hear what I'm saying right now. But how the hell do you know that I'm angry? So that was weird, and it struck me, and I wanted to reach out and say, so how do you know that I'm angry? But I was like, fuck it. I don't know. Okay. Very special moment is about to take place, and I'm telling you, you're going to love this. You are going to love this. Holy shit. I can't wait. Stand by. The Great Food Giveaway 2. We are now 21 days away. I have added to the pile of money the donations of victors of Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer trivia. They include Chris K., Johnny P., Jason S. That totals $125. You're very kind. They won in trivia, and they said, throw it onto the pile of money of Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer trivia. I'm like, you got it. You got it. Your wish is my command. Okay? We also had another solid day yesterday. Now, I told you at the start of this, we need roughly $3,300 to pay for 100 meals for underprivileged people who are food sensitive. As of this moment, we have $3,162 in hand that have been that cash has been either Venmo'd or PayPal'd to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. $138 until it is paid in full. That will leave us a lot of time to add to the pile, which anything extra is immediately donated to Kids Food Basket. I have yet to make my contribution. I'm telling you that for transparency, and I'll let you know exactly how much I'm giving. Just because, this is a very close-knit bunch that we have here. And I don't want you to think that I'm fucking skirting out on, if I'm going to sit here every day and tell you how much money I make and how much money you've given, I'd be a fucking idiot if I didn't lead the charge. So I will, but I'm waiting. So there you go. Very, very cool of all of you. Thank you so much, but we're not done yet. Like I said, if you want to contribute, Venmo me the cash at Eric-Zaitunian. What a wonderful name that is. Zeitunian. If you are on the live stream, I just published it right there. Kyle says, send me money. Jackie needs money for a wedding dress. He thinks we're suckers. You shut up. And then PayPal at Eric Zane Show. You need to know that we have a guest that'll be joining us. 6 minutes. Just been informed that the guest is waiting. Okay. So Ding dong. I'll be getting to that shortly. We'll bring our guest in promptly at 9 a.m. It will be a surprise for all of you. No guesses. Nobody guess. Nobody guess. I don't want any thunder stolen from this. Okay? No guessing. No comments. Someone says Kyle from Dumpster Divers. Kyle from Dumpster Divers will join us later. But this Kyle from Dumpster Divers is not the special guest. I'll tell you that right now. Okay? So we're just going to keep that on the down low, and our special guest is going to join us in moments. Okay? Hold on a second here. All right. I will say this as we continue on, that the amazing local sponsors that we have just been crushing it lately. I'm so happy for them. Full House Comedy. If you're looking for something to do, here we are. It's the winter months. We're not really going outside anymore in West Michigan, pretty much. So I want you to consider going to a comedy show. Go to fullhousecomedy.com and check in with those folks. See what's going on. You got shows, for several days each weekday at several different venues. Fullhousecomedy.com. Thank you to them. That's Donnie Veltman and his crew helping us out with that one. Irvine's Auto Repair Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. That's where the Great Food Giveaway number 2 is going to be coming up in 21 days. First of all, they want me to stress to you that if you know of a charity that is in need of a quick infusion of cash to the tune of $1,000, Irvine's, they basically pool their resources and give that away to a worthy charity. Okay? So go to facebook.com/Irvines. That's their Facebook page, and that's ERVINES. And all you have to do is nominate a local charity. They'll go over those and decide in kind of like a in-house vote as to where the money is going. But that's so very, very cool of them. Always willing to help. And if you could, if anything happens to your vehicle, domestic, Asian, or European car except Volkswagen, please consider taking it to Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, and EV. All right? If you are in West Michigan, you're cruising along 44th Street, just a few blocks east of 131 is Stafford. That's where they're at. When you drive by it, you can see them, wave. Then you know it's there. Take your cars there. And one more here before our guest joins us. Serra Honda Granville, SERRA Honda Granville, is still open for business. Now, what they've done here is they've had to adjust because it's a little bit... gone are the days, at least temporarily, when you can walk in and just drive off with a brand new car because we have this madness that is happening in the world. However, you can still make that happen. You just got to plan ahead and say, all right, when it's here, I want it. You can still buy at sarahhondagranville.com. You can also check out the amazing selection of certified pre-owned and used vehicles. sarahhondagranville.com, SERRA HondaGranville.com. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen. Whoo-wee! Some of you may know what the hell is going on here. But I am bringing in, and I'm asking you to unmute our guest. I just clicked ask to unmute. So I see that is ready to go. And ladies and gentlemen, Jeffrey from beautiful Southern California. Jeffrey, how are you?
Hey, buddy. How are you, buddy? Good morning.
So literally down to the hour, almost exactly 365 days ago, we were in separate operating rooms. And, I mean, incredible, Jeffrey. We did it. It has been I love you so much, and I know you're going to get emotional. I will too, but we crushed it, Jeffrey. I am tell everybody, please tell them what life has been like for you in the past year.
Wow, what a question. I was thinking about that this morning. Well, first of all, I wanted to say I love you, and to your wife.
Thank you. I love you too.
And wow, yeah, I'm gonna try not to get emotional, but it's fucking. I swear.
Yeah.
Swear?
You can do whatever you want.
I swear all the time. They say people who swear are more honest. So
No, it's true. And you look, and I'm already seeing comments, and they're saying that you look fantastic. You're so healthy and beautiful.
I feel amazing. I mean, I was telling friends I didn't laugh for 2 years. It's crazy, and I think it was just hidden. But and you ask me now, how do I feel? What's the journey? What has it been? Well, not a lot of people knew besides the kidney issue. I was dealing with this crazy immune attack on my body, which caused me to lose the ability to walk. And not only was my kid, it was crazy, right? So I had all these.
The holidays are doubly important this year, so make your celebrations doubly special. At Kroger, we've got a huge selection of high-quality meats on top of fresh, natural produce, like fresh, never-frozen prime-grade beef and our Simple Truth Organic Brussels sprouts, or delicious king crab legs with our private selection gourmet potatoes. Whew, had to say that doubly fast. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Get more ways to save at the Buy 5 or More Save $1 each sale. Just buy 5 or more participating items and save $1 each with card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Every year, compliance regulations change thousands of times. And every year, ADP makes thousands of seamless platform updates so businesses can focus on everything else, like running their business. Grow stronger with ADP, HR, talent, time, and payroll.
Things I was just kind of like, I didn't know where I was. It was a very dark place, but I realized I can believe in humanity. I can believe in people. It was a crazy journey to get. It was a crazy journey to get there. I always just have this one image. It's the most bizarre image of that day, and it's just you rolling by with this smile, with this big like hat on. I don't know, what do you call it? It was like the big puffy beret.
Yeah.
Like a mushroom.
It's like a bonnet.
And I was like, oh, fuck, this is going to happen. I couldn't believe it because I just couldn't believe it. It was such a fucking roller coaster. And I think it happens for a lot of people who are going through that process. I was writing down, before I got on this podcast, the people that were on my journey, right?
Yeah.
Stories, and I wanted to say thank you to all these people. I don't know if you're recording this, but if you are,
yeah, it's definitely recording.
Okay, cool. But you said we. I mean, you did it. I was part of it. We did it together. Yes, it's a team process. Because it was a living donor. It was a team process. But you did it, man. It's just a really odd thing. It's a hard part in life when you're a person who's used to solving problems and then you just have one you can't figure out how to solve. But I think I'm proud to say that I solved it with my friends and my family. It's just a hard thing to do without support. I was going to say, it's really funny. I know everybody knows somebody who's sick, right? Everybody does, because we're all humans and we have this. It's somewhere in our ecosystem, within our family, within our we have somebody who's hurting, or I just say reach out to them and support them. Sometimes people don't know how to deal with people who are sick. That's what I realized. Like when I would tell people I was sick, they would just kind of get fearful because they knew I was sick and they knew I needed help. They didn't know how to deal with it. Not everybody can be a donor. I don't think you are. You're a soldier, bro. You are a soldier.
Can I tell you when you honestly, this was, and I, from time to time, I get spiritual. I don't do that often, but I think that this taught me so much about spirituality. This was the big takeaway for me, because quite literally, when you said you had stage 5 kidney disease, there was such a momentous push in my soul for the next 200 days that I'm not kidding you. This felt easy to me. I look back on the process of those 200 days, and it seemed like everything fell into place at such an alarming rate. And these were things that I was not aware of, all the many steps that are involved in living organ donation. I had no idea. But we destroyed every key hurdle. We didn't even hurdle it. We just ran through it. All the blood tests and stuff. And
yeah, you did it. And no, see, you did it. So here's the thing. Before I told you, we got to go slow, okay? Because I had people step up for me. God bless them. Okay, I have a list of the names here. Okay, I'm going to tell you each person. Please. Okay, my first person I reached out to is my buddy James Bain. Okay, James is an actor who went to USC and got his master's degree in acting, and he was in one of my projects, one of my films. He's survived. He's a veteran, served 2 tours, Iraq, survived 7 roadside bombs, lived, went on to be an actor. I kind of was thinking hard. Who would understand what I'm going through? James was the first person I called. And what did he say right off the bat? He said, yes, right away. Like you. But he got turned down from UCLA because UCLA has like a protocol. You know, they're very strict on who they pick. And he was a little overweight, but he was completely healthy. And in the end, another hospital in Texas, shout out to Baylor, Texas, Baylor Scott Temple, I think it was. Yeah. They were, forgive me, but they accepted him, and we were running parallel. So we were actually running parallel with you, you know, and I told you that. And I said to James, and it was actually one of my favorite calls to make. I said, you don't have to give me your kidney. You've done enough. Just a great guy.
Yeah.
So, in the end, you know, I'm grateful. We did it here. I think UCLA they're incredible.
Yeah.
They're an incredible hospital. Yeah.
So I remember that story about James, and I remember you also had several people who also helped you out along the way, and unfortunately it didn't work out for one reason or another. But so go, yeah. And so, you know, and I know you want to get to that, but when you and I spoke, that was such a chance encounter. I mean, that was, I imagine you almost had, I'm quite certain you had no intention when we spoke of asking, and you did not ask me. You never said to me, hey, will you? It just kind of hit me, and I told you. Take me through that, because in the other scenarios, you had approached people yourself. This was not one of those scenarios.
No, I'm looking at our chat right here. It was just a hello. I don't remember, but it was just a hello. No. Well, you know what? A lot of people hate Facebook, right? Facebook is kind of like whatever. They steal your information, all that bullshit. But, you know, yeah, I mean, there's always good and bad. No matter what, there's a positive, there's a negative to everything in life, right? So whatever. You can use Facebook, you know, to stalk somebody, and you can use Facebook to find somebody. So in the way that I was just on Facebook, and, you know, you and I have had similar paths. I've always followed your career because we're in the creative arts and in film and radio. And we grew, you know, I was thinking about Eric. We went to elementary school together. Mm-hmm. We went to junior high school together. We went to high school together, and we went to college together. We didn't hang out much in college, right?
No.
You met Diana, and you were off in your love zone. And I got my heart broken, and I was off like chasing, you know, girls and being a college guy, you know, which was great.
Right.
Shout out to CMU, Fire Chips.
Yep.
And, you know, but, you know, and we crossed paths again. And I think we've always kind of like, I've always followed you because I knew you were in radio because, you know, we've had the same teachers and the same mentors in life. And yeah, so then, you know, I was just always curious about, I do reach out to some of my friends from high school, but I think it was that common, you know, interest in the arts that kind of brought us together. And a lot of the people who tested for me were artists, and a lot of people, you know, in my little community are artists because I work in the film industry. And yeah, you know, I'm surrounded by a lot of artists. So I think, you know, my wife isn't one. She's a psychiatrist, which helps me a lot. No joke, because it was everything in life is psychological, right?
Yeah.
And this, most of all, it was just painful because your body just goes through hell. There's no doubt. Dialysis just rips a person apart. And, I was always thankful for your countdown on my days. That was very thoughtful.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. It was all part of that adventure. And that's how we approached this thing. We were getting
healthy at the same time. I was riding my bike, and we were trying to it was cool. I'm very much appreciative. I tell everybody I wake up every day to watch the sunrise every day.
Yeah.
And, every day, just because I can, it's cool.
Man, let me ask you this, Jeffrey. Can you take us through the because you look like you've never had an issue. I mean, right now you look like any guy who's this who.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, can you kind of take us through how your body healed after the installing of the kidney? In 1 year, your body has made a big transformation. Can you take us through that?
I will. Can I do something real quick before I go through that?
Please do. Please do.
I want to go back. I'm going to sidebar that question, and I'm going to come back to the people that helped me, okay? I'm just going to say their names. Dan Kuhn, CMU. Greg Heddle, Double G. These are all the people that stepped up to test for me, okay? Jeff Lighthouser, my homeboy. My buddy Brian Gross. I want to tell the story about how they discovered cancer on his kidney, and by him trying to donate for me, he ended up saving his life because UCLA found the cancer and he got it removed. My producer, Catherine, who I love to death, who I thought was going to be my donor. But I love her to death. She was going to go to Texas with me. She said, if it doesn't work here, we're going to Texas. God bless her. My friend Meow Meow, love her name, right? That's Meow Meow. She's Japanese. I love her to death. My buddy Joe Clont, CMU. And a lot of people, tested, there's a few others, close to the family. And, what happens is, look, it's not, if somebody says, hey, I need possibly to donate a kidney, it doesn't mean if I say, yes, I'm going to be a donor. You have to go through a rigorous process. And, UCLA is amazing. My Dr. Lawman, Dr. Veal, and Dr. Grish, right? Grish?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Yeah. All those people. But in regards to what has my body gone through? Okay, number one, I can piss like a racehorse. It's the most beautiful thing in the world. Nobody thinks about how wonderful it is to pee. It's probably one of the greatest things in the world. What you do is when you pee, you get rid of all the shit in your body, the toxins. I couldn't pee. I don't think I peed for like a year, which is incredible, right? So I was carrying all this water weight. I was always in pain. When you see people maybe have things in their big ankles, it's not maybe because they're fat, it's probably because they're kidney disease and their body is just holding this water and
correct
they can't pee.
Correct.
So in regards to that, I can pee again. My body started healing itself. I try to eat healthy. I don't eat any junk food. I don't drink any soda. I have Coke every once in a while, but I don't even like it. I hate it now. It's too sweet. Now I drink, mostly water. But my body has come together. My skin is much cleaner. My energy is back. My creativity is back. It just, you just get pulled down. I didn't stop working, creatively. I try to paint and do things because that was more to remove the mind from the dark places. You think you have conversations with yourself about life. Those conversations are way fucking deeper when you're sick.
I bet, man. I remember, Jeffrey, the sitting in your backyard and you revealing to me, because I don't want to go there. No. I was just going to say, no. I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to talk about what you think.
I get that, but what I think is, okay, I'm going to interject for a second.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No.
Yeah, it is a hard conversation with oneself. That's all
I think what stands out to me is how, this whole process, you didn't take anything for granted. What I was going to say is you weren't convinced that this was going to work until you had been through so much Okay.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It took such a toll on you because people would test and then for one reason or another, it wouldn't work out. But then it wasn't until day of when you saw me with that, when I was getting wheeled out for the surgery, I don't think you thought that this was going to work through several times. You know what I mean? Just because of you'd been kicked around too much, you know?
Well, I believe that the healthcare system wants people to be sick, Eric.
Really?
Oh, yeah. You don't think, DaVita wants somebody to have kidney disease?
Man.
I'm just saying it, man. I'm letting you know. They charged me $10,000 a month for a machine that costs probably $1,500.
Oh, dear God.
Okay. So it is fucked up. And, there are a lot of, and here's the thing. I'm now getting involved with organizations to help people find medical research. Okay. I'm getting involved with a lot of good causes. I can talk about that after because I believe that.
Okay.
It's a path and you're part of that path because I have gotten there. But yeah, the cost of medicine, people not getting dialysis in other countries throughout the world, those machines aren't a lot of money. Medical care isn't a lot of money. So, that's a really long topic for another conversation.
Right.
At one point I was like, what the fuck? I'm bringing people who want to help me. And I wanted to stay at UCLA. I know how good they are. I love my doctors there, and I was like, is it me? Look, I'm a creative person, right? My friends are not accountants and bankers and shit like that, and when they're looking at people, I'm surrounded by creative people, but I was like, what do they want me to do? Bring like a blue collar banker that's a marathon man who, isn't creative, because you do these interviews with them. You have to have a psychological interview. You have to do blood tests, heart tests. It's like this whole thing. And at one point I was like, what, maybe if they think, I maybe not psychologically, I can't handle it, because I am emotional. There's no doubt about it. And then to think about that kind of stuff, so I was like, okay, what's the conspiracy? And I was like, fuck it. And then I was like, okay, I want to get into these studies, because there are drugs now where you don't have to be on dialysis, or they cut down on certain proteins that are attacking the blood. And, there's stem cell and there's CRISPR, which is DNA sniping, and you can get rid of the disease, right? And there's studies going on in Sweden. So medicine in this country is regulated by the government. You saw it happen really fast with the vaccine, right? They sped it up. They had, they're collaborating. See, when doctors all over the world can collaborate and share information, but government regulation prevents that a lot of that stuff to fall.
That's a great point. That's a great point, because out of all of the things that you described that seem to take forever, that's what screwed a lot of people up, because they can speed it up and still be effective and safe, which they were with those vaccines. Right. But that all the people in the world are like, well, wait a minute, why, how? And then that was a red flag. That was a red flag to them.
Yeah. No, Sweden is like the most advanced country, I believe, when it comes to anything technology and medicine, for some reason. And they're doing studies way before us, and they're doing studies all over the world. Like, studies happen like in stages, but let's not go there now. But what I was going to say, where my body is now, I feel amazing. Am I perfect? No, I'm still working on the nerves in my legs, but fuck it, I'm not. You have to understand, I went from being a healthy human being, right, to falling apart in a chair, to not being able to walk, okay, to literally having to, I was falling when I was walking and having this other autoimmune disease, my kidney disease, then my medications on machines. My body was just run down. I was exhausted. I was full of like toxins.
So
you should see the energy I have now.
No, absolutely. And so basically, it was kind of like a perfect storm. And what you and I were obviously focused on the kidney, but this autoimmune disorder is something that when all of these jumble up, not to mention the stress it puts on you mentally, it was to me, you surviving this is fucking incredible, man. And I mean, and you're still sorting it out. You're still sorting it out, but you're on the right track. Getting rid of the kidney issue was huge.
Here's the thing. I'm not healed. It's a bridge to life. You understand what I'm saying? It's allowing me to live. I'm just back in the game with you guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm back in the life lottery. Nobody knows what tomorrow is. Nobody. I'm in the life lottery.
No.
You gave me a chance to see the sun, hang out with my kids, do what I love. I'm into life. I'm back in life. And I'm not in pain. See, some people live in pain. There's still people living in pain going to the fucking dialysis every day for 5 hours. So I wanted to just say this. Look it. I don't know how, whatever. I say it all the time, but this is, to me, it's just you and I talking. I don't know who's listening.
No, this is good. There's a ton of people listening. Well, there's right now there's 60 people hearing our voices, and then later on today there'll be more.
Perfect. But here's the thing: one person out of the 60, just sign or whoever. Listen, what are you going to do after you're dead? Nothing, right? You're going to go into the ground. We're going to recreate maybe as a flower or something. And but just donate your kidney card. Sign your card. I don't care. Just sign it. If you pull back, I don't know where you're at. You just pull back. We look up and you pull back. You pull back. You pull back. You pull back. You're just a speck of fucking dust. Okay.
No, it's true. It's very true.
Yeah, you're a speck of dust too, and I'm a speck of dust. And in that little speck of dust, we just saved each other's lives. And from the wide perspective of this crazy, crazy thing that who knows? We can't be alone, but we're out here hanging out. Just if you're gone and you're going to become a tree or a flower or a bird or whatever the fuck we become after we die, just give your kidney away so someone just is not struggling. And then maybe it's a kid who's just going to have a life because you can help them. Diana was so amazing. You guys are just, I don't know. I can't define it. There's no word.
Well,
warriors, but you guys are just something special. She wanted to help somebody. You wanted to help somebody. I mean, it's just an amazing thing,
what's interesting, Jeffrey, is from the perspective of us, and I think that this is important to stress to anyone who might be considering even a living donation. This was absolutely joyful. Sure, yeah, for a few hours after the surgery, I was a little uncomfortable, but just being aware that you were going to live was a huge emotional, therapeutic, mental burst of goodness into our souls. And this is true. Let me explain this to you, because I did learn this, that people who donate kidneys typically live longer than the average person lives in a lifetime because of all the benefits that when your body is filled with feeling good endorphins and chemicals and things like that. It's all absolutely a part of the game, and I can't. I
appreciate that's an interesting insight. It's like the gift, like giving, I'm working on this project right now where it's like, it feels great to give something, even if it's like giving somebody a pie that you cook or something like that, just to give something. It's amazing, to have another human being understand that you have some kind of passion or care for them. But what I wanted to say something is that, Argentina, everybody, when they pass away,
there you go. A chow chow. We got a chow chow. Oh my God. Incredible. So cool. Well done, Eric and Jeffrey. What an adventure we were on, man. I'm telling you that, looking back on that, and, Jeffrey this is how a creative person goes. I mean, he is, wow. There's so much energy coming out of that guy. And if you remember, I don't know if you can remember, way back when I first got him, and he was all meek and tired and he was going to die. Okay. He's gained 30 pounds since then. He's got energy, but it was bad. And now, thank God that this has kind of worked its way through. His body has figured it out. Oh, thank God we don't have to die anymore. So man, Jesus. Absolutely great. Adam says that was great, but I'm a little disappointed after all your interpretations of him. I thought for sure we would hear at least one, hey, man. All right. Side-by-side photos would be cool to see. Looks like he's a different person. I have one. I don't know if I can get it for you, though. Yeah, I think I can. I don't know if this will do it justice, though, because we were all masked up at the time. Let me see if I can figure it out here. There we are. That's us. That is us on the day 1 year ago. To the day. That is in the waiting room at the UCLA Medical Center. I've got that respirator on with a surgical mask over it so that it stops the valve. I was wearing the thing you use when you paint the room. But he was much skinnier there, and yeah, it's tough to tell how much shit he looked like because of the mask and the hat. But his hair was thinning. It was falling out. Looked like fuck. Now he's just killing it. All right. So that is that. All right. Thank you. Thank you for staying with us with that. I know that there's a lot of, sometimes it gets heavy with Jeffrey, and that's the type of soul that he is. Usually a lot of information. Okay, let me help your business. This is how I'm able to do what I've been able to do for the past 3 years. That is with the support of local businesses. So if you have something you want me to talk about on the podcast, don't be a stranger. Just reach out to me, Eric at ericzaneshow.com, and I'll tell you how it works. Like Frank the Tank Fuss. Now, Frank is here in West Michigan, but what he does, you can utilize no matter where you are, all right? So I know him personally right here, but if you're in the middle of Hawaii, you can take advantage of this. He is a licensed independent insurance agent / broker. When it comes to anything insurance related, tap him on the shoulder. He's an expert at this. He's like, if you could compare it to like when cops have a canine with them and they say, go get the drugs. And the dog's tail starts wagging and starts sniffing the fucking drug addicts in the car and whatever, and then wants a treat. That's Frank, except he's not sniffing drugs. He's sniffing deals on various policies that you might need. Medicare, Obamacare, your workplace insurance. He can help you with that. Dental, home, life, car, you name it. You can call or text 616-914-4070 and say, Tank, Zane told me to reach out to you. What do I do? And then he'll take care of it. And oh, by the way, everything he does for you, you don't pay for that. It's free. Okay? There is some stigma in the world around people. And I wouldn't even say that. There's a myth that you got to go and do it yourself when it comes to insurance. It's not true at all. Okay? Utilize Frank. Everybody within the sound of my voice can take advantage of this, and he will not let you down. I want this guy swamped with work from Zaniacs. Thank you so much. The managed IT service provider who I tried to overcharge this month is Blue Frost IT. Sorry about that. God, I cannot believe I did that. You didn't pay me. Oh, no. Yes, we did. Here's the canceled check that you cashed. Oh, fuck, this is awkward. For your small or medium-sized business, if you don't have anybody that's tech support, well, what's going to happen when your tech won't support you? You got to call. What are you going to do? Start from scratch? Unplug your shit and take it to Tito's computer repair? Dick. Call Blue Frost IT 616-200-8550. Maybe that's what Fellhauer means when he says, Eric, you're still angry. Anyway, 616-200-8550 for Blue Frost IT. While I'm at it, Prince Arming has another great time to discuss getting your pistol license. There was just a mass shooting. Now, you see, it's not the same. It's not the same at all. Anyway, if you want to carry your pistol concealed, you should consider, the first thing you have to do in the great state of Michigan is take a concealed pistol license class. One of the things that they'll talk about is, in the class is, okay, you're at the end of the day, you're getting ready for bed. You take your pistol out of the holster, which is, on your waist. What do? Just set the gun down on the dresser and go to bed? No, asshole. You lock it. Okay? You lock it up. Now, in Michigan, that's not a law. Maybe it should be. I know for sure should be a requirement, a habit, something you should do. For God's sake, that little fuck that shot up the school may not have been able to do what he did had he not locked up the fucking gun. Asshole. In my opinion, mom and dad should be charged. See how easy that is to say an opinion, free beer and hot wings? You see how easy that was? You know what they did yesterday? This is what they did. They go, well, I don't know. I just think maybe I don't have the answer, but I think maybe something should be done. In this fucking really weak, silly type of, they want to say it, but they're too afraid. They feel the same way I do, but they're such pussies at offending their audience that they won't plant a flag. What a bunch of children you are. Just fucking say it. It'd be the most interesting thing you do. Instead of sitting there like the pussies you are going, well, I might say something, but I don't want to offend the audience, you fucking idiots. How dare you? You're on the fucking radio. Do your job. What a worthless show that's become. Fucking grow a pair and say something for once. You piece of shit. My God. Unbelievable. Unacceptable, in my opinion. Just say it. Anyway, get your pistol license. In order to do that, you got to get the class. Take the class January 15th. Prince Arming. All right. Call or text my good friend Steve Prince today. Reach out to him, 616-204-1705. I guarantee you Prince was fuming when he heard that this piece of shit dad did not lock up his pistol. You know? All right. I see. Now I can see my lovely guest here. That would be Kyle. Look how he's fixing his hair. Now, he can't see me right now unless he's watching on Twitch, but that's okay because we'll be able to hear him. Kyle, welcome back. Hold on a second. Hold on. I almost got you. I thought I had it, but I don't. Two-person. I think I got... Hey, how are you?
Oh, shit. Look how close I am to the fucking camera right now.
Okay, are we good?
Yeah, I mean, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. And they can hear you. So that's awesome.
Should I fucking back up? I feel like...
Yeah, you are. You are right up to it. You can back up about 4 feet and you're good.
No, I like this, actually. It's intense. I feel intimate.
Well, welcome to another edition of Let's Kill. I think we finally got our act together with having you via Zoom.
We got our act together. I'm just staring at my face on the screen because it's so close. But I like this. It's a new twist, and new twists are necessary. And plus, now you can see me drink my coffee up close.
Yeah, that's great. That's really great. I see you sent me a text. I'm not sure what it is, but it's from the Panera. And I see an image of the various accoutrements that help you to make your coffee every morning, stirs and things like that. And you wrote, "There will be controversy."
Yeah. So I texted that to you. I didn't know if you could show that on the freaking screen or whatever. But here's so the picture I sent you. That's from my home Panera, right? I mean, the closest one to the office.
Right.
So I sent it to you because the one time we went and I was telling you about that guy who fucking was yelling at me about my stirrer usage.
Yes.
That was a different one, right?
Right.
So I sent you this picture because this is my home one, and you can see right by the orange things, it says stirs, right?
Correct.
So that's the fucking thing that I grabbed at the other one, at the other Panera. And that's the guy that got fucking pissed at me. That's what he was pissed about because he was like, those aren't the stirrers.
Okay.
Now I got visual proof that in my world, those are the fucking stirrers because that's what the label says.
So, yeah, you should take that picture and take it to that fucking guy and say, "So, hey, dude, I want to talk to you."
It's happening, dude. That's why I took it. I haven't gone out back there yet. But when I do, I'm going to be like, "Listen, Bradley, take a fucking look at this, dude."
Oh, my God. Okay, good. Patriot Nick says that you got to kick him in the Panera dick. Sarah loves your dimple. We're getting all sorts of things like Richard says he's so close I can smell his breath.
Here's the funny part. Jesse Codes says, "Does Kyle buff his nose?" Here's the funny thing. I got these lights. Let me try a different lighting structure. But I got these lights on me, and that's a little bit better. But my nose has been broken several times, and it is shiny. I don't know. I think that's like a side effect of
right.
Nose. I don't know. But it's shiny as fuck, dude.
Okay, so where are we? It's been too long since we've had you on here. So what's on your mind, Kyle? Please.
Dude, it has been a long time. How was your Thanksgiving? Good?
Thanksgiving was spectacular. Thanks for asking. We ended up doing it close to home here at the house. I canceled my trip to my dad's because of COVID, but what the hell, you know?
I would almost make the argument that your house is the closest to home that you can get without being.
Yes. You know what? I think I should restate that. I stayed home.
Classic. But yeah, so Thanksgiving was good. Stuffed myself silly. We actually we got it delivered, I guess you'd say, or we picked it up from, Two Guys Brewing in Wyoming?
Yes.
Yeah, so Blue's parents, they know the owners of them, and so we got dinner from them, from Two Guys delivered to us. It was good shit. It was really, everybody should go check out Two Guys. They're pretty freaking good.
So you had Thanksgiving delivered from a brewery.
Yeah, classic.
Oh my God, what did they deliver to you?
So I mean, just like the basics. There was Turks, there was mashed potatoes, there was green bean casserole, which I don't fucking like. I mean, green bean. Are you kidding me? Why would you take green beans, which taste like shit? Green beans taste like warm piss, if you ask me. You take green beans and then you mix them with a casserole, which is generally a good thing. But green bean casserole in my face.
It's just, I love it, but it's just like I'm eating cream of mushroom soup.
Yeah, it's like, I can't get into it. So I didn't eat any of the GBC. But, so there was those stuff. There was turkey, mashed potato. What else did I say? There were some buns. Of course, you need buns. I mean, I love bread, so that's the part. There was some raspberry sauce, some other shit too. Oh, they made the what's that shit you pour on the mashed potatoes? Gravy. They made the gravy too. It was good.
Have you ever had what do you call it? Sweet potatoes?
I've had sweet potatoes.
Dude, if you tried my sweet potatoes, it would change your life.
I'll do it. I mean, I guess next year I'm gonna have to stay close to home and go to your house.
I should just send you a batch over, like as a surprise. I mean, seriously, they are spectacular. It's like candy. You almost eat them like it's a main course. You know, I put a big pile of the sweet potato casserole and then like a little bit of turk and mashed potatoes, as you say. Yeah, I'm keeping a list of your abbreviations today. You got Turks, mashed potatoes, and GBC.
I like that stuff. Yeah, look at Wings guys really laying it down.
Oh, yeah.
Like that. Yeah, I like that though, because secretly, maybe when I'm like 70 or something, I can like be telling my grandkids about the time that Eric Zane offered me a sample of his sweet potatoes. Yeah, I put his sweet potatoes in my mouth, dude. It was good.
Okay, so it's you. I know you take notes of things that could be subject matter on the show. What else is popping?
Right, sure do. So first thing I want to mention. Oh, actually, I should say. I secretly took, when you said you can either do 8:30 or 9:30. I secretly took the 9:30 slot so I could tell myself that I'm headlining the show.
Okay, good.
So I'm the headliner of the Eric Zane Show right now.
Fair enough.
First thing I want to say, so I did go, I went hunting my one time a year. I told you the story of last time. So this time, shot another deer, dude. It was pretty cool. My uncle came up from North Carolina, I found out it is North Carolina. So he came up from there. We all went up north to Blue's dad's property where he hunts. Sat out there. So I was sitting with my dad. So my uncle, he's got like a Southern accent, which is, you know, he was born in Michigan, so he's got kind of a weird Southern accent. So he calls me Carl. Hi, Carl.
Hey, Carl. Yeah, that sounds about right. He
was pumped. But listen, I found out, I didn't know this. My uncle's like an avid hunter. I mean, he knows every gun that's ever been built or produced or manufactured, whatever you call it. He knows all about bullets. He's been on crazy hunts, and he was like all crazy into it. And then here I am, you know, drinking some beers, smoking some cigs, just being crazy, you know, and I'm just like, yeah, man, like, hopefully I see one or whatever. So we go to the blind. My dad was sitting with me because my dad wanted to smoke cigs, and I mean like actual cigs. And my uncle, who is very like, I'm a hunter, and he's like, no, I don't want no smoke in my blind. It's going to scare away the deer.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought that's if you do that, it's kind of it's lessening your chances.
Here's the thing. Yeah, you would think so, right? But no, it doesn't happen that way. So anyways, me and my dad are sitting we're making tons of noise. We're making jokes, cracking up. My dad's smoking. You'd see, all of a sudden, like, I look out the little window and I go, oh, fuck, dude, there's a deer right there. And this deer, it's a big deer. It was a 7-point buck, big, whatever, crazy stuff like that. So I look down there and I'm like, oh shoot! Like, but my dad, I killed him last year, so I was like, do you want to kill it? But like, I was in position. He's like, no. He's like, kill that thing. So then we're making a bunch of noise. The deer, I'm looking at him in the scope. He's looking right at me. He knows that we're there.
How far? How far away?
That sucker was probably 50 yards, maybe.
Wow. No shit.
It wasn't like super far away.
So when you say looking at him through the scope, all I picture is playing Call of Duty. Do you see the fucking, hair? Is he in the middle of the crosshairs?
He's in the middle. So at first I just wanted to look at him to make sure he was big enough, because I told myself, I'm like, I'm not going to kill a little one. I'm going to kill a big one. And I was like, he looks pretty big. And the scope was good this time, so I could see him. And so I just like, all right. And like I aimed, and he kept looking at me, and I'm like pausing, like he's going to run away. But he was like nibbling on some grass or something. He was eating something. I don't know what he was doing. Or he was messing with the grass. But anyway, so I aimed, shot him, and he just dropped, right? And he was just like, boom, just like down. And I was like, that's cool, because last time he, like, the deer ran a little bit.
Okay.
This sucker, I just dropped him. And we get up there, and turns out this deer is the fattest deer of all time. When I say that, I mean like fat stomach-wise. I mean, like, this deer, that's why he didn't move, I think. I think he was stuffed to the gill.
Oh, he's just fat. He's a big fat-ass deer, and he didn't do any exercise.
Yeah, seriously, when I was gutting it, I was trying to pull out the stomach, but there was no surface area left to grab on the. It was so full that there was nothing to grab. Like it was just a big fat ball of stomach, and I could not get it out of there, dude.
Oh.
But anyway, so I shot that thing, and it was cool. So I got a nice little 7-pointer there, and it was fat.
So I have a question. So when you're gutting them, it's right there. You gut them, right?
Yeah. Well, so we Blue's dad's got a quad and like a little sled.
Yeah.
So we put him on the sled and brought him back to.
Oh, okay.
Like, out of the woods.
So then you okay, and that whatever was inside of them, does that get just thrown in the woods, or you just throw it away? You burn him, and what the fuck do you do with that?
So you just leave it there. You just like let it, so, like birds and.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's gonna deteriorate the way Mother Nature is gonna take care of it.
Yeah, and we also, because he's got trail cams up there, and we left a pile like right by a trail cam.
Yeah.
They just keep coming. They don't even realize it.
Okay, so all right, now then you have whatever's left. You take that home, and then some guy who knows what he's doing, they process it, right?
Process it for sure.
Okay, this is a person who professionally removes the appropriate spots and gives you the meat. You pay him, and then that's it.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, because I would have no clue what I'm doing for sure.
No. I mean, that takes a trained eye and hand. You can't just have any. Because can you imagine being the guy who has that great experience like you just described, and then he fucks it up, and it's he tries to process the deer himself, and everything's shit. It just wrecks it.
Yeah. Yep. And here's the thing: I would not be queasy doing it, but yeah, I would just not know what the hell I was doing.
Right.
Yeah.
So is it done? Do you have the meat now?
Yeah. So here's the thing: I still got meat from last year, so I just gave it to Blue's dad to have or like give to. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Okay.
I have too much meat as it is.
Okay.
Because I killed a big one last year too.
So, like Sexy Voice Andrea, she writes, we process all our deer. That I believe. I believe these people, I mean, some of these audience members, they're like, they could live off the grid, Adam says it's not that hard. It's just time consuming if you're not really good at it. Just watch a YouTube video, Andrea says. So, yeah. Patriot Nick says, Andrea keeps the penises. She has them stuffed. Nick, what the fuck? All right. So now what is the best part to eat? Is it what Ted Nugent calls the back straps?
Oh, yeah. I think back straps and this other thing that I can't remember the name of. Like I said, I don't know anything about deer hunting. I kind of go along for the ride. And Greg, Blue's dad, he was like, not like mad at me, but like a little bit, because he's like, dude, nobody in the history of Michigan has gone hunting twice only and killed 2 deer. Like one. He's like, you might be the first person in history. He's like, most people don't see deer for like ever. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know, man. I just, he probably just heard me being chill as fuck in the blind.
Heard you being chill as fuck is classic Kyle. So Kyle, let me know your thoughts on this. It seems like if I think back to when you first came on the show to now, you seem to be like in good favor with this bunch. Whereas when you started, people were like, oh, no, I don't like him. It's wrecking the show and shit like that. And I told them to shut up and tell me how you feel about all that.
I feel regular. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I'm just living my life. I'm just chill.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I think that, I like watching the comments and getting to know like people, I mean, not that I'm not like getting to know them,
right.
But, like virtually, I guess.
No, they love you. They love you. And anybody who doesn't love you, they won't say it now because they know that everybody else loves you. So they're like, oh, I better not say it. I better not say that Kyle's a fuck bag because, you know what I mean? So one of those.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Let's see. One more thing. We got one more thing to talk about. Is there anything else on your mind? I know you always compile a list.
Yeah. So I just got 2 quick things to reference. One's quicker than the other. I heard this joke. It's not a joke. It was a meme, I guess, like about like just different ways to think about stuff, and I always love doing that. I love thinking about things different than normal.
Okay.
This blew my freaking mind, and I never. Some of you guys maybe have heard of this before, but I have not. But the meme just said, "Cum like ejaculate, like dude cum or whatever."
Yeah.
Cum is just boneless children, and I fucking lost my shit. That's hilarious. You know, like, but I mean, like, is that the best way to think about that?
That is excellent. That whoever came up with that is brilliant. That's excellent.
I know. Like, see, like, I like perusing the internet for like that type of stuff, like finding people who are like, whoever wrote that is intelligent, like very.
That's a good joke.
But intelligent. That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the other thing I was going to mention, so a while back we finished that demo with Stephen Hyde, but I came up with this whole little scenario in my head. So here's what I had to do. I had to remove wallpaper, which if you've never done it, it sucks, dude. It's very terrible. It's rough is what I'm saying. You got to do processes, and it's not easy. So I'm glad that wallpaper is not a trend anymore. But anyway, so I had to remove wallpaper. And as I'm doing it, I become convinced that wallpaper was invented by Adolf Hitler himself. I did. I began thinking. So then I came up with, I got to pass the time because it's fucking boring, right? It's like you're just scraping and like spraying and doing all this stuff. So I had to come up with a scenario in my head to like make it worthwhile. So I came up with a scenario where in the concentration camps of the Holocaust or whatever, like the gas chambers, I don't think that they actually gassed people. I think that there was just wallpaper in there. And like Adolf was like, okay, listen, guys, we will put them in the gas chambers. Once they are in the gas chambers, they will take down the wallpapers. And that is the punishment. And so that's what I was thinking. Because like, you see the pictures of the gas chamber, and there's like clawing on the walls, right? Like they're trying to get out. I don't think they were trying to get out. I think they were trying to get the fucking wallpaper off, dude.
Okay.
And like he's like, I will not give you the spray bottles. I will not give you the steamer. You must give the wallpaper off by yourself. And I think that's what happened. That's
an interesting take on the death of millions of Jews. I don't know. I feel like somehow there'll be a cancellation involved after this podcast. So thanks for that.
No, so here's the thing. Like I said, I was just thinking about that to pass the time. And, not that I believe that. It's just whatever.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh, no, he's not. He's not pissed. Are you kidding me? If you can't joke about the Holocaust, what can't you joke about? Holy shit. Come on, guys. Holy shit. It's just jokes. Okay. All right. So you're off and running on the rest of the day. I thank you as always for joining us. Okay, buddy?
Wait, what was it? You said you had one thing to talk about or no?
When did I say that?
Like right before I said those things, you were like, I got one more thing to talk about.
Oh, no, I was talking about you. I said, I only have time for one more thing, and then you threw two in because they were quick.
Oh, shit. Okay. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, Nazi wallpaper. And
Nazi wallpaper. If you got to close with Nazi wallpaper.
Sure.
All right. Kyle, thank you.
All right. See you guys.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you. There you go. Kyle from Dumpster Divers. There he goes. He's like, oh. Okay. Hey, let me tell you the one about the gas chamber. Let me tell you the one about the gas chamber with wallpaper. Oh, hey, buddy. Great. We're getting references. I got too bad Saul left. Our very own Saul would have lost his mind. He would have sent me a strongly worded email about Kyle. Let's have a Kyle Meathead crossover episode. It would be great if I could get my dad to log into Zoom. It really would. I think it might even amp up the bit. But you see, oh boy, that could be tricky of a thing for him to do. So I don't know. we shall see. Sky's the limit. Sky's the limit, as far as you know. Kenny says, the Zoom with your dad was so fun. Yeah, I know. It gets confusing when you're 87 and I think she's 85 or 86. You got to realize it would be like the first time they've ever done it. And I guess if we did it every week, it would be okay. I don't know. Just so simple to get him on the phone. I mean, it really is. I don't like to spring new stuff on him. Aram says World Book Gym could show them. Yeah, I know. I think I could actually talk them through it. I say, hey, I'm sending you a link, and like we could practice. But the idea of, see, the problem with on this show on Twitch when you have a guest on, Kyle was able to see me because he was watching through the Twitch app. Jeffrey could not. If I tell my dad, all right, yeah, just click on this link for Zoom, because what I'm doing on my end is having Zoom talk to Twitch behind the scenes. Jeffrey just clicked a Zoom link and was just he could hear me, but he couldn't see me because my camera in use is talking to Twitch, not Zoom. They still integrate. But if I said to my dad, I want you to click on that, but you'll only be able to see my logo or a black screen. Where are you, Eric? Where are you? It would be, oh boy. And forget telling him, hey, Dad, I think you got to sign up for Twitch. I don't think that would work. Okay. Asshole of the day in moments. Merch is available for you. EricZaneShow.com. Click on merch. Off you go. Tons of hoodie designs. Get yourself a hoodie for these cold, cold winter days, which, by the way, Jesus, we are 20 days till the days start getting longer. Come on. I hate it. I can't handle it. 9 hours of daylight. Shut up. EricZaneShow.com for merch. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Reach out to them, and they can point you in the right direction about getting a mortgage. They are fantastic over there, and it doesn't matter where you are in the U.S. If you reach out to the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage, any state in the U.S. with the exception of Alaska, Hawaii, South Carolina, and Maine. So simple. Reach out to the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage for a refi, first mortgage, 10th mortgage, whatever it may be. Thank you so much for being on board with the show. TC Paintball. We don't yet have a date in place for Paintball War 17. We are working on it. If you want to engage your friends, your family, your coworkers with a great time, consider an outing at TC Paintball. Online at tcpaintballgr.com. Thank you very much. Wednesdays, Little League Day. More information at the website. And finally, A&E Heating and Cooling. 616-516-8579. For anything at all, most specifically, getting that furnace tuned up. You know, it's been kicking on every day. It's freezing out. If you haven't got it tuned up, yeah, you're rolling the dice, dummy. And it's running like shit because it's filthy. Heating cost. Okay, you know what's going to move the meter for you to call Joe Martinez? When you see that first energy bill, because your shit show machine is running at 56% efficiency. So then your bill checks in at $350 to heat your home. You're going to be like, oh, fuck. I should have called Joe Martinez. Yeah, reach out 616-516-8579, dumbass, and have him clean that thing so that he can get it running to the tip-top level of efficiency. High 80s, low to mid 90s is what it should be, okay? Hell, when you buy one and have it installed, it doesn't even run at 100%. Usually runs about 96, 97, brand new, if you buy a brand new comfort maker installed. So, but he can bring it back to life if yours is old and hasn't been tuned. Don't be an asshole. Call Joe Martinez, 616-516-8579. Speaking of asshole, the asshole of the day, brought to you by TC Paintball and JM Synthetics, where between now and the end of the fundraising for the Great Food Giveaway 2, 5% of everything purchased through Venmo or PayPal, or Venmo or cash, 5% will be donated to the Great Food Giveaway. So thank you very much to JM Synthetics for that. Who is going to be our asshole of the day? I don't know who we have. I mean, I had a little bit of a tirade on free beer and hot wings, but fuck it. I don't want to do that. I don't think they warrant asshole of the day. They're pretty much assholes every day, so fuck them. Could it be Jeffrey? No. How could it possibly be Jeffrey? I mean, give me a break. No, I don't really have anything for you. I think because of the Jews didn't die by the gas chamber. They died by wallpaper removal. Kyle is going to have to be your asshole of the day. Kyle, oh my God. And Kyle, it's not that this was an incredibly offensive or asshole-ish thing. It was a joke. I get that. Oh, there you go. He says, I'll be asshole of the day if you want. And then he wrote something in German. Yeah, it's going to be you, our asshole of the day, for suggesting that millions of Jews died by removing wallpaper. Way to go, Kyle. That's a first, you stupid bastard. Okay, and that's our show for today. We've done it. The show has completed. All right. You were doing so well with boneless chicken or boneless whatever joke about jizz. I forgot it already. I don't know. Okay. If you're watching the show on Twitch, I'm going to leave you with a commercial, and then I'll raid you to another probably foreign language speaking show. I swear to God, the one I sent you to yesterday, I thought that was not a Spanish speaking show, but it was. Okay, so 1 minute ad break, and then you're going to raid another show. Please behave yourself. Have a good one. Talk to you on the Patreon. And then we got Ben and Eric Patreon podcast tonight. There you go.
Hello, Discover here to explain our cash back match. Here's how it works. We give you cash back for using your Discover card on the things you were going to buy anyway. Then we match that cash back in your first year. And that's why we call it Cashback Match. Now to recap and say cashback one more time. We match all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year automatically. Discover. Exceptionally common sense. Learn more at discover.com/match. Limitations apply.
Unjunk your sleep at Mattress Firm's Cyber Week sale and wake up a better you. Shop in-store or online and save up to $500 when you get a king bed for the price of a queen or a queen for a twin. Plus, get a free adjustable base with qualifying Sealy purchase up to a $499 value. Or save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic, the most highly recommended bed in America. And you can shop with confidence thanks to our low price guarantee. Unjunk your sleep, only at Mattress Firm. Offer valid with qualifying purchase. Restrictions apply. See details at mattressfirm.com.